I want to talk today about gunplay. And I want us to look at that word, the word that we are using so often today, gunplay. And I want you to keep in mind, I want you to think about the scripture that says, train a child up in the way that he should go, and when he grows old, he will not depart from it. I want us to look at how the gun is seemingly to become a natural thing for our young boys today. I want you to look at how the problem solver for our children seems to have become the way of the gun. I want us to think about how when we get in that courtroom, I want us to think about how when we are trying to bail them out of the county jail and when we trying to bail them out of the city jails. I want us to think about when we bury our children. I want us to think about when we say, I don't know where he get that from. I brought him up better than that. That don't seem like nothing he'll do. I don't believe he the one did it. See, I want us to think about these things because I want us to look at how we are unconsciously training our children to see the gun as a natural problem solver. I want you to see how we're unconsciously training our children to possess and hold and use a gun naturally. It has almost become a part of their nature because of the way we bringing them up, the way we training them. Train a child up in the way that he should go, and when he grows old, he will not depart from it. One of the first things that I can remember as a child getting as a toy was some type of little car, some type of motorcycle, and some type of gun. And we already know the mindset that most young men and men have today. That's what we into. Guns, cars, motorcycles. I want you to follow me on this one. And I want you to think about it. I want you to think about what we are unconsciously doing. When I was a young boy, I remember one of the first guns I got was a stopper gun. And that stopper gun was some similar to this type of gun, but it had a little stopper on the end. You had to put it in the gun, push it in, and then off time you had to wet the stopper in order to get it to stick somewhere. So here we are. Here I am, a young child with a stopper gun, and I'm shooting it at the wall. The only other place I can remember making it stick was to the wall, to the refrigerator. And all times we end up around the house shooting those guns at mama, shooting those guns at daddy, shooting those guns at grandma, shooting those guns at our brothers, our sisters, and our friends. And when we had that stopper gun, when you had on clothes, the only place that stopper gun would stick when you wet it, you had to shoot somebody in the head, and it'll stick to their head. And as I remember when I was coming up, when we got over to gunplay, when I got older, most of my friends and the people that I knew died from headshot. But I don't want to go too fast. I want to slow this down. I want you to think about this. The next gun that I can remember getting, and that we usually buy our young boys, is some type of cap gun that make noise. So now we have to load the caps in the gun. And we shooting the gun. The gun making noise. You smelling a little smoke from the gun. You still around the house shooting at mama, shooting at daddy, shooting at grandma, shooting at your homeboy, because we playing cowboys and Indians. We learn we rolling around on the ground. We hiding in bushes. We hiding on the porch. We hiding around the house. And we shooting these guns. And you know sometimes your parents will play with you and they'll play like they falling. Your dad will play like he falling. Your friends play like he falling. Then we get a little older. We graduate, we get another type of gun. which is some gun pretty much something like this. Some type of cap gun also. You have to take it out. You have to put the little plastic thing in there and load it. Put it back on, lock. So here we go again. We round the house, shoot, making noise. We smelling the smoke. We shooting at mama. We shooting at daddy. We shooting at grandma. We shooting at our homeboys. We shooting at our friends. We playing again, cowboys and Indians. We hide. We jumping out, surprising people. We doing all these type of things with these guns as young children. Then we graduate from that and we go over into getting a BB gun. And I can remember the first BB gun that I got. My daddy bought us a BB gun. Me and my oldest brother. Before we didn't have these BB guns 5 minutes. Before we stepped off the porch, I done cocked my BB gun. I got my BBs in there. As soon as we stepped out the door, my brother went out first. I got both my feet outside the house and I shot my brother in the leg with the BB gun. He cried. He was upset and he was mad. And my daddy came outside trying to see what was going on. He told him I shot him with the BB gun and my daddy took him. We had him 5 minutes. Then we ended up getting those BB guns back a little later. Not that day. He put them up for a while. But I knew where they was in the closet, so I just sneak it down. And be in the house playing with it. Put it back up there. So eventually we got them back. But once we got those BB guns back, now I'm learning how to kill flesh. I'm around in the neighborhood. We shooting at birds. We shooting at bottles. We making little signs. We shooting stop signs. And by us being children, not knowing what we doing and trying to find things to do, we shooting out the lights in the neighborhood. We shooting out people's windows who we don't really like. Somebody said something crazy, we shoot their window out. We shooting car windows out. We ain't had nothing to do, so this is what we were finding to do with our guns. But still, we shoot. And I can remember not thinking about that we could have put somebody out, because now we got BB guns and we in the neighborhood playing cowboys and Indians. We shooting at each other for real with BBs. You get hit, somebody laugh at you, have a little whelp on you. You know what I'm saying? Well, I remember one got up under somebody's skin. They had to go to the doctor and get it out. But now we round in the neighborhood with our homeboy playing cowboys and Indians with some real BB guns. And this is a BB gun that we got today. The BB guns they have now look real. This is an Al BB gun. But I want you to look at how we gradually come from this to this to this, and then we graduate over into a real gun. Now I want you to think about this. The gun now has become a natural utensil in our hand. Now we're going over into the video games. When we get over to the video games, now the video games, our young boys, when you watch them, they shooting real blood splatting. You know, the games that they have are so lifelike now, then that's why they want to play all day. This is becoming their mindset. This is why I call it a mindset. This is becoming their mindset. And all day they playing, they shooting. They doing all the things they were doing outside. Now they ain't got to get dirty, but they're in the house playing this all day. They playing online. They shooting their homeboys. They shooting this. They shooting that. It's becoming a natural thing now. And I want you to think about this. Now it has become a part of their mindset. Now picking up the gun has become a natural thing. Now they have an argument with mama. So now you're hearing children shooting their own mama. Now they're having a disagreement with dad and they shooting their own dad. Grandmothers. homeboys. And now here we are sitting up in the courtrooms. We sitting up in the county jails, and we wondering where they get that from. We wondering and saying that I trained them better than that. I taught them better than that. That don't sound like nothing my boy do. I didn't raise him like that. Well, I know my son wouldn't do nothing like that. I taught him better than that. He came from a good home. He didn't grow up around all that type of violence. He grew up in a good home. He had a good environment. Train a child up in the way that he should go, and when he grows old, he will not depart from it. We are training our children to handle these naturally, to be able to pick them up. So now he done had a disagreement about a girl with his homeboy. And he run home, he get it real gun. He come outside without thinking, bow, 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 bow. But guess what? He can't mass reset this time. Guess what? That fake falling that his homeboy been doing all his life, he ain't getting up this time. Guess what? When he pulled the trigger on his mama, she ain't laughing now. But we are making these a natural tool in our children's hands, and then when they act out the mindset that we have created, then we ask the question where they get that from. It don't take long to get a point across, so I'm going to leave that alone. I want you to think about that. Gunplay. Training up a child in the way that he should go, and when he grows old, he will not depart from it. And you can't say we ain't buying these, because they don't cost but $1 at the dollar store. So when your mama take you to the store, you live, Mom, I want that. How much that thing cost, boy? It's $1. They don't take long for it to tear it up. Then you get them another one. Then you get them another one. You're getting older, then you get them another one. And this is all they're seeing and hearing from us, because this is our conversation now. Guns, cars, if not motorcycles, then women. So this is the conversation that they're hearing. We're teaching them to glorify the gun. This is the way we solve problems. And they're seeing this. And then you got the guns we're giving them. You got the video games that they're playing all day. And they laughing at it. It's funny. But when a real live circumstance or a situation comes and they're angry, the gun has become a natural tool for them, and they unconsciously go and get it, and now they got 100 years. They done killed their homeboy. I was in prison with plenty of people who had killed their homeboy and they regret it. They can't take it back. You can't match reset. You can't match replay. You can't take the CD out and clean it off and put it back in there. Gunplay.